Hello, everyone. Mystic Magic Lady here. Check into the energy for today, August 2nd, 2021. But whenever you see this, will be the right time. Time is fluid, it's man-made, doesn't really exist in the universal law of things. But anyway, here we are in August. Let's see what the energies are today in the collective. What are y'all feeling out there? As I was meditating and preparing, I kept getting the message of having to speak up, use your voice, clear communication, speaking the truth from your heart. So some of you may be having a difficult time communicating something. Some of you might need to speak up about something. So yeah, that was coming up. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. What is the energy today? What are my people feeling? What's the collective energy today we're dealing with? What's the energy we're dealing with today? Great Spirit, what do people need to know? What's the energy? Ooh. Okay. Tower. Look at that. I was just saying, this kept coming up. The bottom of the deck here. Somebody, some of you out there need to speak up about something, okay? I'm just going to highlight that again. So the energy that's coming up today is this reverse tower, which is changes are happening and they're hard to accept, perhaps. Some of you are having a hard time accepting some big changes, some sudden changes, some surprise changes that may have happened, shook up your foundations, but this is an energy of having a hard time accepting these changes. The changes may be coming in slowly. They may not be, for some of you, as big of a shock as for others, but there's definitely this energy of kind of almost like fighting changes, you know, and if you don't go with the flow of things, then you're in a resistant kind of energy. So this is like resisting changes that are happening and maybe happening unwilling changes, like you know, some surprise changes, sudden changes, something happening, but it's an energy of resisting these changes and not really wanting to accept some things that maybe for some of you may have been a little jarring, a little unexpected, and really having to force you to really to make some big changes. But again, this is a resistant kind of an energy. These are like changes are happening slowly because you're not able to really accept them. This is resisting change, not really wanting to accept what these changes are bringing about. And for some of you, there's changes, and they may just be happening slowly, you know, slowly making some big changes as to not really make them jarring. But either way, however it resonates, there's definitely some changes going on, and for a lot of you, you're resisting it, and they're happening slowly, maybe unwilling to really accept them. Okay, well, let's see. What is the challenge? What are the challenges today? What other challenges are we faced with? What's the challenge today? What are people being challenged with? Spirits, please give it plain. Let us know what the major challenge is. Whoa, okay. Again, okay, so some major energies happening here. So the challenge here is, again, with these big changes, I mean, that in itself is a challenge for a lot of you, is accepting some big changes that are happening, moving forward with changes. But there's also a challenge of seeing, some delays. You're challenged with being blocked. Some of you might feel like your destiny is a little blocked. Your good fortune, you may be having some of you may be challenged really trying to see what good fortune you do have. Might be hard for you to see your blessings. Also, for others of you, there's a challenge in really seeing that these changes that are being brought about are your destiny, and accepting that, because sometimes it's hard for us to accept that things are meant for us, because sometimes they may be uncomfortable or a surprise or some kind of changes that we may feel unready for. They may have been a shock. There's some resistance here, and you may not believe that this is really your destiny. Okay, so there's a challenge to see that and to maybe accept that. And for others of you, there's a challenge to really maybe move forward, and to see, there may be just feeling like a little stuck here. There may be a challenge to really see that things are all in divine timing. Some of you have a challenge seeing that things are how they're supposed to be, okay? Because there may be some changes that you're really just not ready for, and it's creating some resistance and a challenge for you to accept your fate, your destiny, okay? Some of you may see these changes as unfortunate, okay? And for some of you, they may be difficult and they may be hard changes. And for some of you, maybe some things happening that you really are not ready for and don't want to accept. And it's a challenge to really accept that this is your fate and this is your destiny, and to move forward with these changes. Okay. Let's see what is the potential outcome and advice here. Excuse me, sorry, too many cards falling. Can we get some advice and potential outcome here? What's going on? For a lot of you, there's big changes happening, but they're hard. They're hard to accept. There's a challenge here accepting these changes. These changes are also happening slowly. Perhaps it may be taking a little time for you to move forward with these changes, or to accept that they're happening. There's a challenge to really get moving forward movement with some things that are happening. There's a challenge to really bring these changes about, perhaps, because there are some things that are delayed, and there may be just a little bit of resistance still, and you're not really ready to make these changes because you feel like there may be a feeling of like they're not really for your highest good, or there's like a feeling of, you're not ready to make these changes. You're having resistance because you don't feel that you deserve them, or maybe you feel like they're not really, they maybe they're not the best. You feel like they're not really good fortune for you, and maybe they're not. Maybe they don't feel very good at the moment. But if you keep resisting things, because this is, things are destiny and our fate, right? Even though sometimes it might feel uncomfortable. So there's a little bit of a feeling of not wanting to move forward and resisting some things in your life that are could be some big changes, some sudden kind of shocking, maybe surprise kind of thing that you aren't ready to accept. You don't feel like is really your fate. So there's a delay in accepting these changes and some resistance and maybe moving forward. Um, and the longer you hold on to old, worn out situations, the harder the changes will be to make. Let's see, what is the potential outcome? Potential here. Potential outcome, please. What's the potential outcome? Spirit, what is the potential outcome here? What's the outcome? Okay. So really having to, the advice and the potential here is to really have to go within, find some inner balance, and listen to your intuition, getting in touch with what your higher wisdom already knows, because there's some resistance here to some change. You're having a hard time maybe accepting your fate, or accepting that something that's happening or needs to change is really your destiny. Maybe doubting a certain path or some changes that you're having to make or making, and they're going in slowly. But Spirit is saying that you need to really go within and trust your inner wisdom, listen to your intuition. There may be a decision that you need to make, and you're challenged with making this decision. And because there's some delays in really being able to get in touch with your higher self and what you know to be true. Because you may be hanging on to something, some old foundation, some old way of doing something, some old situation that has to change. And there's a need for change and a need to really listen to your inner guidance and your intuition on some situation. Okay, let's clarify some of this energy. Some of you are really holding on to your, really holding on to something tightly, something that you feel is, you're trying to hold on to something that you feel is your stability, maybe. Trying to hold on to your money, or it could be, a job, or some kind of what you have thought in the past felt like stability. But for some of you, I feel like something has come along and has shaken up that stability, that foundation, and you're not really ready for it. You don't really want to make the changes. You're holding on tightly to what you felt was secure and stable, and you're having a challenge seeing that, things need to change. And you're having a hard time accepting that, this may be your fate. Okay. And because things are happening slowly, and you feel like there may be, things are just delayed, and you feel like this is not really the way things are supposed to be. But if you go within and really quiet your mind and your ego, and find that place where you can connect to your intuition that we all have, and that, connection to your higher self, your creator, whatever you want to call it. But it's that place that's deep within us, that feeling, that knowingness that we know that, when we say got that gut feeling, we'll go with the gut feelings. Okay. So a lot of you are maybe stuck in that ego, which is our mind, is the fears that are saying, no, hang on to this. This is the way things are supposed to be. And that's creating some resistance. And even if, like I said, these may be surprising changes that are, rocking your foundation, and you want to hold on tightly to the way things have been, because you feel like that's the way things should be. And sometimes changes don't seem right, seem scary or uncomfortable, but in the long run, you may find that the changes were necessary to bring about your good fortune, and to bring about your destiny and fate. Okay, so all right, enough of that. Let's get into some clarifying of this Tower in reverse. What do people need to know? What is this energy, Spirit? What is this energy? These changes. Please clarify the Tower in reverse, the energy today. Clarify the Tower in reverse. Today. Okay. Hello. Okay. So, yeah, there's so this resistance to some changes that may be happening, or these delayed reactions to things that need to change, perhaps. There's it could be something that your heart just isn't into anymore. Okay. The something could have happened too that shook you up and has made you really question what it is that you really value and love. This this could have created for some of you a little bit of insecurity, and maybe you're lacking some self-love. Your confidence may have been knocked, and you may just be not really feeling lovingness toward yourself. This could be towards another person or a situation or a job or a project or a hobby, however it resonates for you, whatever your situation. But there is definitely something that you've lost the love for. Now, whether that is another person, a relationship, a job, you'll know how that translates for you. But this is an energy of lacking love, lacking self-love, or or having lost the love in a situation. Perhaps something that was in the past stable and you were putting your heart into, something came along and really shook that up, and now you really maybe have lost the connection there, and not really sure which way your heart wants to go. And that's why there's a need to really go within and listen to your intuition, not the fears and the ego-based stuff, right? But there's definitely some kind of loss of love and joy in some situation, because there's been a bit of a shook up, something getting shook up, and having to make some changes that are feeling like you don't want to. You're not really behind what's happening here, okay, and what these changes may be or bringing about. And for some of you, it could be, a relationship, or or it could just be with yourself too. Something's happening and you're not feeling love towards yourself, because you may be doubting some situation or something that's leaving you really, feel has knocked you down, and you're, resisting some changes here because maybe you cannot find the courage or the self-love, or something that you were trying to put your heart into has changed and shifted, and you may have lost um, the connection there with your heart and putting your heart into something that you really cared about, and now that's bringing, things are shifting and changing and you don't like it. Let's clarify the, oh, okay. um, so these Okay, so there's definitely we got the double fives came out. Five is the number of some of conflict and struggles, okay? So, there's definitely conflict and struggle going on. There's some changes that need to happen or are happening, but they're happening slowly because maybe you're not behind these changes, but they need to happen. And they may be things that you weren't really expecting. And it's leaving you in a little bit of heartache, but also there's conflict and struggle with this. There's a struggle in your head. It's a struggle to get out of your head. Like I said, this ego, the fear-based thinking, the struggle. You need to get back in touch with your intuition, that the feeling body, your heart, because your heart's not in it anymore. Now we're all up in our head, and there's a lot of mental anguish going on here. You're thinking too hard about maybe these changes. You're not that are and that's why there's such resistance, because too much in your head. There's a struggle, and there's like some conflict to really get over these, and to move on and to move forward with these changes, okay? Because it's conflicting you. You're in your head too much. You've lost touch with your connection to your heart and what your heart is calling you to do, okay? Because your heart is not behind whatever is happening here, and it's creating a lot of fears and anxiety and a struggle for you to move forward. Okay. Let's clarify the challenge here. What is this energy about? Clarify the reverse wheel of fortune, please. What else do we need to know about the challenge here? Really? It's too many cards. Sorry. Okay. Let's clarify the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. What is this challenge here? Please give us some guidance to what that means. Okay. So this is a new beginning. For many of you, there is a challenge to really to start something new, something stable, because there's all these challenges and this conflict and anxiety about like whatever these changes are, and I feel there's like new beginnings or something new, a new project, a new job, something new that is a challenge for you to get moving forward movement with. Okay, and there's a lot of delays here to start this new project or to go in this new direction, and to create something new, whether it's something new that's going to be stable and have a strong foundation. Okay, there's a delay, there's a challenge to see or to start something new, and because there is all of this conflict still going on and resistance to the changes, and also there's, fears and tension that is happening, and losing connection to what your heart is really going after, and this new beginning, or there may be something new that you're trying to start or trying to go after, but there's a delay, and they're having a hard time. There could be a hard time really starting some new project or new job, or something, some new beginning that is going to create some stability in your life. Okay. And there's like a delay, because there's a lot of fears, anxieties, some conflict, and some resistance to some change. Change is happening slowly, and not recognizing that you have new beginnings that are fated for you. Okay, but there's a challenge here to see that, and perhaps the challenge too is to figure out where your heart is aligned. What kind of new direction do you want to start? Because you're conflicted, and you're in your head, and there could be some drama around you, and some conflicts that you need to heal from, or move on from, and really find a way to align your heart into a new beginning. And what is your heart aligned with? What kind of new foundations do you want to lay out for yourself? Like I said, some of you are really holding on to the old way, what you thought was stable, and it's bringing a lot of anxiety, conflict, struggles, and perhaps because of all of that, you're unable to recognize what you truly want, and what your fate really is, and your destiny. Let's clarify the advice of the potential outcome here with the High Priestess. That's having to get in touch with the intuition. Ooh, okay. Moon card. So something needs to be revealed. Okay, there could be some sort of secret that needs to come out. Like I said, I was getting the energy of having to speak your truth, and clear communication needing to happen. So, with this moon card, this is about illusions, and things coming to the surface. And again, it's, really also illuminating what your intuition knows to be true as well. Okay. It's trusting the unknown. It's going within and trying to trust your inner wisdom. Okay. Really, also, something will be illuminated. There may be some kind of secret that's going to be revealed. There could be some information that's going to come out. There could be some kind of and this could be just even with yourself, some kind of epiphany, or some kind of uh, answer that you might come up with, or something that you might not have thought about, or recognize within yourself. Your intuition might, reveal something. But there also could be some kind of situation that is revealed, or some kind of secret, or something coming out, some information. But you need to trust the unknown too, is what it's saying here. Trust in the unknown, because there is things happening. I feel for some of you, changes that need to happen are happening, things that you're not accepting because perhaps you it's unknown. Okay, the outcome is still kind of unknown. Maybe you're fearing the unknown, so it's having you hold on to a situation that you did because you know it, and you don't know what's coming next because it hasn't been revealed, and it's hard to trust the unknown and know that things are going to work out. And so with that fear of the unknown, it's creating for some of you this this energy of being stuck in your head, stuck in a situation, holding on to something that no longer serves you. Even though your heart is not in it, you may have a hard time recognizing that you have new beginnings, and that you have a better destiny, and something new that you could create that's going to be more stable. And you need to trust in the unknown. You have to really connect with your higher self, connect with your intuition, and get the fears out of your head and connect to where your heart is aligned. Really try to connect to that inner knowing, that gut feeling. Okay. Some of you really are stuck on, focused on what you have lost. Okay. Some of you are not seeing an opportunity. You're not seeing an opportunity that's your destiny, that is fate, and that is your good fortune. You're not seeing it because you're focused on something that has been disappointing. You're focused on the things that have been taken away from you. You're focused on, things that have left you dissatisfied, and, the struggles and the fears, and being focused on all of the heartbreak is blocking you from making the changes and from moving forward and seeing the opportunities that you have coming your way that are greater fortune and better for you. Okay. So there's a need to just quiet yourself, connect with your higher self, your intuition. It's not easy, I know. But this is what Spirit's telling you. Let's get a little message from my unicorns. I love my unicorns. Okay, so this is some heavy energy. What could we hear from you, unicorns, that is going to help us through these energies? What do people need to know? What's your advice on how to get out of this stuck energy? What do people need to know? How can we move forward? Jeez Louise. Okay, you're right. These unicorns. Thank you, Spirit. So just confirming what the High Priestess is saying about listen to your true feelings. Okay, that's that gut feeling. Okay, don't let others talk you into doing something that you know is wrong. Okay, so for some of you, there may be a lot of conflict, and that's why you're in your head, and there's a struggle perhaps with other people. They want you to maybe do something or go in a direction that you don't want to go in. And maybe that is why you're resisting some changes for some of you, because they may be changes other people are trying to have you do. And in order to really see these opportunities and better new beginnings that you have, you need to try and get out of your head and listen to your true feelings, right? Okay. Get connected to your inner wisdom. Listen to your gut feeling. Listen to what your heart is calling you to do. Okay? You don't have to do what other people tell you just to fit in or whatever your situation is. Okay? I'm being called to get one more message from the unicorns. One more. What does someone need to know? Something? What's your advice? Okay. Thank you. All right. Again, these changes. Hello and goodbye. You'll soon see that this change will make things better. Okay? Again, you're resisting these changes. There's a resistance here to these changes. But our unicorn friends are saying, relax, okay? The changes will make things better. But until you could really accept these changes and move forward, you're not going to see the better fortune. You're not going to see these new beginnings. Okay? So listen to your feelings. Go within, listen to your inner gut feeling, and try to align with your heart and where that's calling you, what direction to go in, and know that changes are going to lead to better things. Okay, even though you may be really in your head about it and really upset and it's maybe a struggle, just know that it will get better. Once you stop resisting, like I said, go with the flow, not against it. When you go with the flow, things will happen with ease. Believe me, I know it's not easy to make changes, especially when they're unexpected and especially when we don't feel like we're ready for them or that we want to make these changes. But there's some changes that are happening, and if the more you resist it and the more you get in your head, the harder it's going to be to make these changes, and it's going to keep blocking your new and better opportunities. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for watching. I hope something resonated with you today. Please take care of yourself. Try to quiet your mind. Go within. Listen to your heart. Take some time to meditate and connect with your true feelings. And I will see you soon. Love and light.